Good morning, everyone. My name is Josh Blaylock, and this is the Skype for Business recap. As usual, I try to give a brief little introduction at the beginning of each show to let you know what we're all about on the show. Really, it's the goal is to have a 15-minute show here or less. Sometimes I go a wee bit over, but we really just want to share what's new, what's been talked about in the community, what new tools have been shared or put out on the TechNet gallery, what's new in Skype for Business Online, Microsoft UC related topics. So that's the point of the show. That's what we do here every Friday morning. And I am so glad that you've tuned in, if not only for a few minutes, to hear a little bit about what's going on this week, this Friday. We are not doing live broadcasting yet. I keep saying that one of these days we'll get there, but I'm kind of waiting till I'm in a situation with a little better bandwidth at the house. So, I've got decent bandwidth right now, but I would really like something a little more crystal clear than what my streaming allows me to do. So, for now, the show is pre-recorded, which is nice for me because I usually need 3 or 4 cuts to make sure I stay within the time frame and don't sound ridiculous. But for now, we're pre-recorded and we get the show as early as we can out on social media Friday morning. So, there's that. Also, usually sipping on a big mug of coffee because that's just how I need to get the day started. I am a coffee addict. I'll admit I've got a problem, and I don't intend on breaking it. It's I love coffee. Good times. So we got a lot. We got a lot to share today. There's a lot going on this week, as with every week. It was a busy one. There's a lot of things happening. A lot of people talking about different things on the community. A lot of people sharing stuff, putting their own content out there, which is great. We have a live and active community. Normally, I have my OneNote up here, which I do today, and I have a agenda that I want to go through, and really not an agenda, just a list of topics that I want to make sure I hit. So before I dive in, one last sip. Excellent. And let's start with a huge apology to Mark Vale. Mark, you have been an awesome supporter of this show and the content that I've put out in the community, my ebook that I put out a few months back, and it's just been a pleasure working with you and interacting with you over the last several months, getting to know you a bit. You, Mark, have put out an excellent free ebook to the TechNet gallery a couple weeks back, and I, like a buffoon, forgot to mention it during last week's episode, and I felt terrible. I really did. So this week, I want you all to know, Mark, whose Twitter handle is @UnifiedVale, he put out an amazing free ebook on the TechNet gallery called Preparing for Skype for Business. I'm going to provide that link in the video description on YouTube, so please be sure to check that out and go take a look at the book, download it, read it, and use it when you're preparing your deployments, and then make sure to go out and rate it for him. Let him know how he did. Give him feedback. Feedback is super important for things like this. But it is an excellent book. It's not a deep dive into any particular topic, but it is lengthy in that it covers all possible topics that you might want to talk about when deploying or getting ready to deploy a new Skype for Business environment. From SSL certificate planning, hardware planning, the whole 9 yards. He covers it all very well, very succinctly, very thoroughly. It is a great tool for planning. So Mark, very well done in the book. Thanks for your contribution there. So sorry I forgot it last week. And I hope you all will go check it out and that it helps you as you move forward and plan new environments for your clients and customers. The next item on the list is actually along the same lines of planning. This morning, there were a number of tweets, reshares, etc., retweets, for the Skype for Business Server 2015 Capacity Planner. And this is a handy little download that is provided by Microsoft on their download site. I saw a number of people sharing it, but I snagged my status here from Dino Caputo's retweet. Dino is a Office Servers and Services MVP. Awesome guy, done a lot in the community, obviously, and he shared this morning. And so what this is, essentially, is a spreadsheet that you can download. It's got all kinds of formulas and junk already factored into the spreadsheet. But it's used to calculate your hardware requirements for a proposed Skype for Business deployment or an existing one that you want to validate and make sure you've got the right hardware in place. And it's based on information that you plug in about your user base and beyond the user base, your traffic, especially your traffic and the kind of workloads you're going to be putting against this environment. If you don't know those, then you kind of got to assume, or not assume, estimate, the best you can what your workloads are. And it's going to recommend what your infrastructure should look like after all that information is put in. That is super cool. That is super handy. I mean, these were two big things that I wanted to touch on today, and both are talking about planning. I cannot underscore enough how important planning is when you are getting ready to deploy a new environment or a new piece of the environment. It's much better to have all your ducks in a row from the get-go rather than having to adjust your plan midway through a project, which changes timelines and changes costs and leads to some unhappiness at the project management level and the customer client level. So both these tools, very good for planning. Don't ignore them. Please go out there and check them out. I'm going to provide links to both. The other thing, Mr. Randy Chapman, also a very active community member, and he's based out of the UK. He put a handy little client-side tool called StatusKey. It is a tray application. Put that out in the gallery, the TechNet gallery, to download. So I'm going to, obviously provide a link there. Actually, what I'm going to provide a link to is his blog, because he put a blog post together about this with a very good description of the tool, what its purposes are, etc. And at the end of his blog post, he has a link to the TechNet gallery, to the specific TechNet gallery page where this tool is downloaded. Again, just as with Mark's ebook, please go and download it. Check it out. If you're curious, if it sounds like you would be someone who would use it, and try it out. See what you think, and be sure to go give him feedback and rate the app or the tool in the gallery afterwards. But it looks pretty handy. It's a clean looking little window that sits in the tray there, and there's about 6 different pre-built hotkeys that he's put together. Let me pull up his page here really quick. He's got reset status with the R key, B key is busy, A key is away, F key is free, T key is be right back, and D key is do not disturb. Obviously you do Control Alt and then the letter, and it sets your status and link, or Skype for Business I should say, and that is awesome. That's a very cool thing. Now, as he points out, yes, your calendar, your meetings will change your status. Answering a call, being in a call, if you're integrated with Enterprise Voice, that will change your status. There are certain key things that will change your status, but if you have a need to change it on the fly, outside of those normal events, for whatever reason, this is a quick, efficient, easy way that saves you a few clicks, and at the end of the day, you're thinking it's just a couple clicks in the client. At the end of the day, we add up all these tiny little things that we do that save us time throughout the day and throughout the week and throughout the month. By the end of the year, you'll be surprised how much time you save by making all these little changes to streamline your daily activities. This is a great tool that will help you on that path. So if you are a hotkey fanatic, this is a great tool. Check it out. When I say this, the tool is not sitting here in the room. I'm sorry. I've got a monitor right here, a big monitor that I work off of during my shows. I got my notes here, I got my browser up here, and I reference all material. So I kind of point that way. Anyway. Randy, nice job on that. Awesome. And everybody, I hope you find some good use in it and give them some good feedback. Let's go back to OneNote. The last 2 items here are some client updates. The first one I want to call out is the iOS update. So there is an iOS update out. It updates the iOS client to 6.2.3. This is for all you iPhone and iPad users out there. So what's new with this version? They have added the ability to watch PowerPoint presentations, so that's a pretty big deal. Contact management, add and remove a contact to or from multiple groups. I've heard that complaint from several people, so that's awesome. They've taken care of some annoying app reconnection and sign-in issues. You won't be disconnected when you start a conference call from an IM. When the app is in the background, you'll see that you have new IMs in a conversation. No more endless ringing when you take the call on another device. That really sounds like an annoying issue that I've never had to deal with because I don't have an iPhone or iOS anywhere, but that's a good one to have fixed. The added by group has been moved from the top of the contact list. When you end a call, you get the sound back from the app you were previously listening to. Joining a meeting just got smoother for some Office 365 users. So if you are an iOS user of Skype for Business, There are some really good updates in this update here. I would recommend that you go and upgrade to 6.2.3. Check that out. All right. The next one is a update to the Link for Mac 2011 client. Note I did not say Skype for Business. Okay, that's still summer 2016. Hopefully, it's supposed to be amazing. It's supposed to blow our socks off. Doesn't have persistent chat from what I've heard, so that's kind of, to me is kind of an annoying thing. But I don't know if I stand alone on that or what, but it just grinds my gears. Anyway, but it's going to be a shiny, wonderful new client. In the meantime, they are releasing updates to the existing 5-year-old Link for Mac 2011 client, which is good. They want to keep up. They don't want to shun the Mac community at all. There are a lot of them out there, so a lot of Mac users. There is an update to the Link for Mac 2011. It takes it up to version 14.3.3, and the KB number is 3139293. Again, KB 3139293. Let's skip to the important part. What are the issues that this update fixes? First, the change of the also ring option and preferences can't be saved in Link for Mac 2011. As I read these, I'm not telling you what it can do now. I'm telling you what the problem was that it fixed. All right. Text formatting was lost when you copy or paste them between Link for Mac 2011 and Word on a Mac computer. That's a pretty big deal. Link for Mac 2011 conversations aren't saved in the Outlook conversation history folder when you use an Office 365 account. That seems like a big one. Conversation history is a hot topic to a lot of users. And so if you were a Link for Mac user with an Office 365 account and you were having problems there, this may solve that for you. So definitely worth checking out the update. Video is distorted after a video call window is resized. Link 2011 for Mac doesn't automatically sign back in. That's a small thing, but a lot of people find it really annoying. So, that's a good one to have. Local endpoint allocation failed error is logged and Link for Mac client becomes unresponsive randomly. Oh, well, that sounds like a good enhancement then. Duplicate contacts are displayed in search results in Link for Mac 2011. Well, I bet that one was the source of about 3 billion tickets in people's ticketing systems. Video preview window is black in Link for Mac 2011. All these are very good things to have addressed. Whether they were small or not, I'm sure all of them were the source of a great deal of tickets and end user support. So make sure you check out the Link for Mac update if you are a Mac user. And for you iOS users, it sounds like it's time to go get some of these issues fixed and squared away for you as well. That is about all I've got today. Hit a number of topics here, and I'm pushing my time limit, I think. It's time to wrap the day up. I've got a busy day of work ahead of me. Finish up Friday with a bang, and then start the weekend. I hope you all have a restful weekend. I'm hoping to hit some ski slopes maybe in the semi-local area here before the year ends. It would be a shame if another winter went by and I didn't get back on the slopes. So I'm not an avid skier, but I enjoy doing it. So yeah, hopefully we get to do that. In the meantime, as long as I survive my ski trip and I'm not in some sort of body cast next week, I will see you guys all here next Friday. Please have a restful weekend. Enjoy your time with friends and family. And have a productive week next week. We'll see you here again next Friday. Adios.